And here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Track Feedback. Today is Wednesday, August 10th. Can you believe it? It was like July 2 seconds ago. Now it's August. I don't know how that happened. So, what is going on? A couple quick announcements. First up, Track Feedback is going to move in August. Boop. That means August 13th, I'm traveling a bit, so I cannot do a live stream. I'm going to do comments on Discord with timestamps in writing. So you'll get feedback on your tracks, but unfortunately the live stream this Saturday cannot happen. And I just saw a comment, Steve. I think that's the time lag. So Piv, whenever you type that comment, I just saw it right now. Saturday the 13th, I'm just going to be on Discord. Can't do a live stream. And Saturday the 20th, we're going to move it to the 21st. And I just put this in the email I sent out to the list. I'll do some more announcements on Discord and things. Saturday the 20th, I have something going on. Actually, my last ever live sound gig in Pittsburgh. And it's for a worthy cause. It's part of the EntheoCon, a conference on entheogenic substances, aka psychedelic healing in the world today with plants, which is worth setting up mics to help out on that. And Ian can take over that day. I wish. So Saturday the 13th, comments on Discord. Saturday the 20th is moving to the 21st. We'll do a Sunday feedback, same time as usual. And that'll be it for August. Now, before we get into track feedback, I'm so excited about these masters that I got from Piv. And these are the masters for House Volume 1. They might change a bit, but all I want to do right now is just click through and give you a little sonic picture of all the tracks on this album. You can see the waveforms, but the idea is like, let's just click through and get a little picture of how these each sound. Okay, from AFL, Ben Hunt. I'm doing volume fades by hand. I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna leave the volume at the same level right now so you can hear everything equally. Mr. Melviz, Matt Schultz, what's up? Okay, I hate doing jump cuts. I'd rather fade it down and fade it up, but I wanna leave the fader at the same level so you can hear the sound come out where it is. Here comes Danats. This is the track where I was like, I'm hearing details I never knew were even in here before. So Piv, amazing job on the masters. These are version 1. There might even be a master version 2. Let me go back and hit you with AFL at the same level. Ben Hunt. Okay, sonic picture of that. Try and keep a mental picture of the lows, the highs, the mids. Dimutech, James Sargent. I'm so excited with these tracks. Let's check out Envelope Follower. I don't know if Jens is here. He's kind of like a super electro or electronic, like analog synth, actual electronic devices in his production. Oh, Piv, awesome. We're going to be version 2 coming after the weekend. I'm so excited. And Alex B with the big D, Hushed Tones. Definitely on the late night end of things. A little closer to techno rather than like classic, house. Listen to that detail. Okay, let's check out Jerogi, Ben Spencer. Yeah, Ben, they sound lush and they sound nicely equivalent. I'm gonna micro level my broadcast left, right to make sure it's balanced. Do you hear that pitch shift on the vocal? I never heard that pitch shift on the vocal before. Canada. Check out the percussion on here. Bump, 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 bump. We talked about that one sound a lot, like in February. Those effects and the hi-hats, it's like It's such a pleasure to hear these. Okay, Mindbender. There's that Mindbender low end. I mean, we all know Mindbender has a low end, but now it's like amazing. Octavio, Deep House. He's not very active in the group, so if you don't recognize Octavio PD, he was really busy with us when Mix a Texture Track Feedback was on Facebook, and he travels a lot for work, so we do communicate kind of on one-on-one, and his tracks really represent the vibe nicely, so I wanted to include this on the release. Little keyboard solo. Mindbender seemed warped. It is not warped in Ableton warping language. I'm not sure what you mean, Shepherds, but that's something to pay attention to. Now, OSP, master of the kick drum double bump rhythms. Got both Abletons running right now, so we're seeing the Spectrum in Live 11 and playing back from Live 10. OSP's track is so deep. Okay, I know we want to get to the track feedback. Who is this guy? Steve Knotts. All right. And Taib, this one has a neat sound in it. I like that kind of zicka ticka ticka. And finally, Tim Law's Temple 01. Bringing it with some bass house. Now, this is not sequenced. I'm going to need some help from you all on that. Okay, so let me close this up. I would like to do a listening party and figure out the album sequencing, maybe after the next masters come back, to figure out what's going to be the first track, what's going to be the last track, and then how do we group these songs to go together so that the whole album flows. And I know that maybe people are not going to listen to it all the way through like a concept progressive rock album or something, but I do want to have it represent who we are and have it like just easy to listen to, if that makes sense. So, how do I do track feedback? I think I play music and talk about it, right? Why is that a joke? All right, AFL, John has to be out, so he left me a little message, said, let's hear his track first. EQ, flat, stereo, width, and here we go, Standing in a Hurricane, version 2. And everybody, thank you so much for all your help, comments, helping out, sharing imagination, trading memes, and bringing DJ Waters back safe from the festival. Yeah, Piv, I want to hear your order. Your track list is, put some heavy weight on that. Right away, I want to check mono. I like those rolls, those triplets. Oh, Ian, I saw that you were confused about transportation, and then one of your festival partners was talking about the train, and she said just like do it, like get on the train lines to sort yourself out, like if you're on the right line. Dumb joke. Man, nice low end in this one. Yeah, the kick is definitely solid. All right, most of this track is working. I'm gonna go right back to the beginning. These sounds are all good. There's a chunky one that comes in. This one, conk, 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 conk. I'm not sure exactly where, but somewhere around 700 hertz. Flat, cut, flat, cut. That sound right there, it has like conk, 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 conk. When we get it, it's all right by itself. It's like, oh, I hear it, you know, it's not like making my head explode. But later on, I still feel it coming through somewhere around like 700 or 800 hertz with that kind of like conk, 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 conk. So what I would do is EQ that sound while listening to the whole track. Try moving a notch around and just get rid of that like middle of the mid-range kind of thing. I love the feel. This part, I think you should cut out one sound. And actually, I think it's that mid-range blocky sound. I'm having a hard time picking out the vocal and the high frequency ear candy kind of travelers in here. 235, cut out that blocky conk, conk, conk. Let the high frequencies take over, and you don't really need that for rhythm or anything right here. So I think this middle break will be better without that part. All that, those filter sweeps are super cool. And the background pad, all those moving sweeps, the melody. And then 306, when it drops back in, that blocky kind of sound will be super cool. So just take out that one layer, let the high frequencies and middle highs swim in that breakdown area. I like the rhythm a lot. It's like yeah, Ian, happy feeling a bit overcrowded. Hey, Tim's here. How you doing? Now it's just knocking beats. There we go. I'm gonna skip through a little bit. Title. I like that reverse cymbal. I like that a lot. One more time, getting into this. Okay, right there. 407 is too empty. It sounds like the track is going to end. So, getting into that breakdown, pick a sound that's going to continue across that gap so it doesn't sound like the track ends. Because that really feels, that feels like a stopping point. So if you could have like one of the background synths continue, like, ooh, one of those atmospheric background synths, possibly the bass line, and bridge that little moment of silence so it doesn't trick us into being like, oh, it stopped and now it's starting again. And then work that breakdown, build up. Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. This breakdown section, possibly take out that same sound, don't, and get back into here. Yeah, a couple of mixed notes on that, like the tone of that mid-range sound and then the placement for the song structure. I like that buzz texture. DJ Waters, layer the panning so it's good in mono and earphones. Yeah. All right, good tips, everybody. Hey, James is here. What's happening? And let's check out Nowhere to Go version 4. And good changelog on this one. Cut some lows out of the vocal. Vocal up front a little bit more. Space in the EQing. Auto pan. Okay, so mostly did some work on the vocal and tonal balance. That's good. Broadcast level coming up. Vocal sounds really good. I actually think it's too loud right now compared to the background synths and percussion. The kick drum is nice and loud. So like the vocal and kick could kind of work together. I like the swing in this one. It's kind of a slow back and forth. What do you guys think about the vocal out there? I think it actually could come down a bit. I mean, the tone, the clarity, it's intelligible, it's a nice sound. Just comparatively, it's louder than the other mid-range instruments a lot. And also remember, during mastering, you could compress the entire mid-range to like level those sounds out. So it might not be ultimately a problem in the end result of the track. Because with compression, you could kind of smash the other sounds up towards that lead vocal and make it all feel more balanced, where the vocal is loud then just drops back. So that's a thought on how to work with that situation. I like this buzzy lead though. This is nice. Shepherds, this is under the house tracks genre in Discord. See, this is a good breakdown. It's really simple. No drums, a little bass and melody, harmony, and then space. That sounds amazing. The way the vocal comes in and leads to the drop, it really sounds good. One little note here. Criminal at 2.4 kilohertz. Notch filter. If you want to get detailed on that. That bass is cool. Yeah, man, 2.4 kilohertz on that lead sound is a little bit of a screech. Take the vocal down overall. I don't have any other notes. I think that's going to be up for mastering. Oh, what was that? This is great. Let's check the ending. Really cool vibes, man. The whole world of AFL sound is kind of dreamy, I gotta say. Like across the board from all your tracks. Oh, letting the delay tails ring out. I like that. I like it. Good, good, good. Okay, Piv comment. There's some low end that needs to be treated. Noticeable at the beginning of the track. My floor is shaking at some places. Wait, I'm not sure. Did I hear that? All right, we got some 30 hertz low end down there. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a pretty low sub. Oh, good. Pushing for the dreamy, floaty style. That's a good idea. All right, Shepherds, one or two bass notes have slightly more power than the already big kick. Uh-huh. The kick is big. The bass notes don't have to have super sub frequency at like 30 hertz. One of the really cool things about the human brain is that you can trick the brain into hearing a lower octave. So like, let's say the lowest note of your sub is like that 33 hertz thing. And that's the note C. If you go to 65 hertz or even 130, 120-ish, you can boost up a higher octave of the bass line and your brain is gonna think it's feeling the sub as long as you have a big kick and some sub pressure happening, which is one of the really interesting things about EQs and octaves and how we perceive music is that your brain doesn't always, sometimes you think you hear stuff that isn't there. It's weird as shit, but it works. Okay, let's move on. I'm glad we got to those. Going out of order a little bit. Who is here? Let's see. Do I have people here? We got James is here. Donats always gets the shaft because he's like on the wrong side of the world. And we got Ben Hunt. And we got DJ Waters. And we got more DJ Waters. And we got Donats and Paraverse. And is Matt Schultz here? I think I saw him at the beginning. We just want to make sure we keep Matt in the right setting. John, you're welcome. Great work, great progress, and we super appreciate all your comments. So we're going to do some ambient, and actually Matt would probably go well after that. So James, Athena's song, really cool motivation for the track. Okay, no compression on here, no master effects, little reverb. So what can we do to get this up to pre-master final level? Great stereo field. This is close your eyes and get lost music for sure. So I have the mouse on the spectrum line here around 3000 hertz. There are one or two little chime kind of bright notes that might need some EQ at that frequency. So far, that's all I'm noticing. I'm curious how Athena likes the song. Like, was she listening while you were making it and stuff? I like these chord changes, and the overall sounds are developing in long, sweeping motion. All right, 3.2 kilohertz is one note I'm noticing that is repeating as a, like, what's that, like a xylophone kind of a sound? Just very metallic and bright. Total detail. Mr. Melviz, go for the heartstrings with a violin melody on top. Oh, like a synthetic xylophone. I don't think it needs anything. This is really, you could master this and have it releasable. It's complete. That harmonic shift is really interesting. I really like the concept of somebody's, like, the way they experience reality, how, like the music shifts kind of unexpectedly, along with like sort of a steady, constant presence at the same time. It's interesting. All right, that's a super beautiful track. Maybe a little bit of high frequency EQ in the 3000 range on a couple of those notes. Tiny mastering detail. I think that one is done. Don't change it. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to make it better. Don't fuck it up. It's perfect. This is definitely the right track to follow. Quick mono check. And we're listening for how the vocals are clear, I believe. Kind of a small notes on version 4, right? Dubby techno at the bottom. Changing some of the delay.
Who says that all must vanish? Who knows?
I think you got everything dialed in on this one.
Remains. Perhaps the flight of the bird you boom remains. And perhaps flowers survive caresses in us, in their ground. It isn't the gesture that lasts.
Oh, I see your comment. Lowered the low end a bit. That really helps to bring up the mids brighter.
From breast to knees.
So we can basically raise the volume in here.
Is so pure.
Lots of low
An
end
angel wears it after you.
and very bright, clear mid-range. And it's time to fire up. Fire side up.
says that all must end? Who knows? Perhaps the flight of the bird you wound remains, and perhaps flowers survive caresses in us, in their ground. It isn't the gesture that matters, but it dresses you again in gold armor, from breast to knees, and the battle was so pure. An angel wears you after.
Boom, boom, boom. I love it. I think we're done here. Anybody got tips? I'm loving this track. We gotta watch out. Our track feedback is just gonna turn into a listening party because this music is all really good. Just a little bit of distortion on that chord thing. I can hear it. It's like quack, quack, quack.
An angel wears you after.
The big E for erledigt. What does that word mean? Is that finished? That high frequency right there, the chime sound, that's great. Nice rhythmic gap with the finger snaps in there. I like it with the percussion a little louder than it was before. I guess that's from the low end being a bit down. Yeah, feedback about personal
Who
taste.
says that all must end? Who knows? An angel wears you after.
Yeah, I'm gonna skip out to the end here. Flow out to the release. Yeah, man. No comments. Mumphy gone. Converted to the big D, the big E. Ear massage. And version 1 was already playable, so that's a lot of good little updates. Okay, Mr. Melvis, Smooth Adventure version 1. I think the vocal came in too soon a bit. I wasn't quite ready for that.
Can you hear me? Can you feel it? Searching for someone.
I think that vocal could come down a little. It's nice and clear, but for the rest of the track, the vibe, it doesn't need to be that loud.
Anywhere, anytime.
Let's start over. First up, the kick is super heavy, and it felt like the kick was too big at the beginning. So I'm now. Well, 2. Here's 4 bars. 4. Okay, so we need at least 8 bars of just groove and beats before the vocal comes in. Especially with the title "Smooth Adventure," we're not in a hurry to meet the vocal yet. Now, when we get up to here. Now the kick drum is at a decent level. I think the percussion is a bit off balance in the mix. The hi-hat is a little low. That lead is a really piercing kind of sound. So I think that lead could come down a little bit. The atmospheric pad and the piano are almost indistinguishable. It's okay that the synth is kind of far back. The piano is kind of like buried in there. The conga percussion could be a lot louder. These are like minor mix tweaks to just kind of pull the shape of it together. And other than the intro, the structure is working totally. I would cut the beats out totally right here. Have just the synth and the piano. 243, bring in the bass line. Yeah. And I like it that the shaker sound is nice and loud. It's like that high frequency rattle kind of thing in the percussion. That sounds correct to me relative to the other levels. But like conga, the other hi-hat, the drums, it makes it sound like when the drums are not loud enough like that, it really makes it sound like elevator music, unfortunately. So we want those to be like Shepherds, that's a good comment about the bass notes being a little more powerful than the kick drum. And then this lead instrument. I'm going to recommend a sound design change on this because everything in the track is smooth, atmospheric, chill. And then that lead comes in like a distorted sitar. It's like if you have the sharp part of the Velcro on your skin and you're like, ow, it's like, like that. I think that actual tone of that lead is too distorted for the vibe of the track. Sitar. The notes are cool, the placement in the track is cool. The frequency range is even all right, but just the actual tone, for me, it's not sitting really well with the rest of the sounds in there. Anybody else have an opinion on that? I'm not sure if that's just me, but that's how it strikes me. Is it's like, oh, there's something really buzzing that I'm not ready for. That is a cool percussion rhythm. That background rhythm is super interesting. I love that shit in the track. Right here. I love it. Right here we can talk about the drums. that one sound, that sweep, 1.2K. Where it peaked, 1.25, was kind of piercing if you could have the sweep without so much peak right there. That last riser was a little bit like a cinematic riser. So when you're doing a bunch of different risers, in this track, don't use so many different ones because it feels like distracting from like the palette of sounds we're listening to. This track could actually just have one kind of riser that's like a buttery smooth swell that you kind of feel like an ocean wave. I'm not trying to be cheesy, I really mean that. And not like a cinematic like IMAX or something. I want to get into these drums again. Yeah, that snare could be louder. Let me take the kick drum shelf all the way down, boost this up, and see what we got. That sounds pretty good to me. And that is, so that's like minus 6 dB of a low shelf EQ, and the EQ center is at 60 hertz. So that's how much I took down the kick drum to basically bring up the drums. Just for fun, let's see what the rest of the music sounds like with that lower kick drum.
Anywhere, anytime. Building me up.
Vocal down a little bit.
In my head.
All right, cool. I'm gonna stop there. So Todd, I hope we gave you a couple of notes that you can work with. This is a really cool track. The structure is great after 20 seconds. Basically strap on 8 bars at the beginning. Let the track build in with, introduce the characters more before the vocal, basically.
Are you?
Yeah, we could, like a nice 8-bar section with the chords and the bass is all we need, and then have the vocal. And that egg shaker layer doesn't have to come in when the vocal comes in. So have the intro of like beats, bass, and chords, then add the vocal only, and then after the first chorus or something like that, after a chunk, then add the egg shaker and the next percussion. So the track is building over time instead of coming in like 20 seconds in, here you go, everything. And I understand there's a lot of reasons why you might have done that. So I'm not saying you meant it that way, but those are some impressions on how to change what you got. Okay, comment, yep, great feedback. And then it says, shut up, Steve, stop talking so much. I'm kidding, it didn't say that, but I'll say that. Okay, here we go, Ben Hunt. Yes. So Ian, what festival did you go to, if you're still here? If you're still with us. Oh, I love that sound. Check mono. I'm listening to this little acid gargle in the middle. I think that could come up. The whole time it was fading in before, I wanted it louder. Now it's getting to the right level. Yeah, so at this part, that sound is at the right level, but earlier, I would have it like push it up louder when it's fading in, and then bring the overall volume of that channel down, so this part lands at the same level. You know what I mean? Where is Mindbender today? Oh, Ben, you're back. We just started your track. I'm not sure if you caught the comment. Ben, let me rewind. This sound. That acid sound, I heard it fading in back here. Could you have it louder at this part so it's not quite so sneaky? Like, bring it up a little bit louder right here so we get this like wow, wow, wow. Because that's a cool sound already. Then when we get to here, keep this one at the same level. So just the fade in could be louder. Oh, Todd, thanks. Martin's under the weather for a few days. Oh shit, Shepard, sorry. Can you, Michael, can you tell us a timestamp of what sound you liked? Or the one you want to come up? I like that sound, man. Solid groove too, by the way. Nice dark bass line. Matt, that's a great comment. Bass line, shorten the decay on the notes for the sustain. Do, to really get that minor third sound. I want to find those notes. Nice groove in the percussion, drums. Background atmosphere is cool. I want to sing along with this one. Okay, Shepard, sorry I skipped right when you were talking about something. I'm sure you heard something useful. Yeah, Ben, how did you make those kick drums? And where can we get some? All right, cool. So the concept is like a nice long, like nice deep groove, 123 BPM. You can play this and just like get in it. Is that a little vocal whisper? Feel good? Mono check. What just happened? Ah. Well, reopen live. This is mono, stereo. Glad that was only live. And mono. So Ben, this track is in really good shape. I got nothing for you except the fade in of that acid sound in the early part. The rest is feeling good, structure is feeling good, sound design all hangs together as one kind of color. Oh wait, hold on. A little bit sibilant on there. Oh, I can see a notch in there. Look at that notch. I see a total notch right there at 11K. That's good. Some of that very last vocal effects sound was kind of sibilant, but I mean, not the end of the world. Mainly just this intro section. I was getting impatient for that one sound. I love the ping on this kick drum. So Ian, what were you hearing in the kick drum? You were asking how did he make Ben? How did you make the kick drum, Ben? How, Ben? How did you make it? Tell us. Tell us how you made it, Ben. That's my hypnotizing voice. I like the ping on that kick. Okay, version 3 is going to be done. Tiny, tiny mix notes and details. If anybody else has comments that I missed when I wasn't reading. Oh, Ian, more variation on the acid sound and longer, possibly. And then Matt had an interesting comment about the duration of the bass notes. If I had the bass notes right, like a minor third, really nice and crisp short notes can help you identify every actual pitch instead of like this, where you get that overlapping note and they crunch and stuff. Yeah, kick is a sample, put lots of distortion on it. Okay. Shepherd is great mix. Acid could come down a touch and maybe slightly more side chaining when the 303-ish sound is active. So that would be like a mid-range instrument blend kind of thing. Yep. Cool. I mean, for me, the track is working. It's playable already, and we're trying to get you from 98% to like 99%. So nice work on that one, and I know you do a lot of updates. So until next time, when we're waiting for Bent Hunt to do an update, we have no choice but to listen to DJ Waters. I'm going to leave the faders right here. Let's see what happens.
Sensible, practical, acceptable, Stephen. Rational, reasonable, reliable too. He sets an example, how sensible, Stephen. So we can be sensible in all that we do.
What did I do to deserve this? Oh my God. I'm gonna cut the bass EQ on your track just for that.
What do you say, Stephen?
I say more bass. Actually, for real, really. Here's like a plus 6 boost on the low end.
Sensible, practical, perceptible, Stephen. Rational, reasonable, reliable too. He sets an example, how sensible, Stephen. So we can be sensible in all that we do. What do you say, Stephen? Rational, reasonable.
Okay. And there's a little timing clash with one of those pluck notes that I hear it like flamming with the attack on the kick drum. It's like
What do you say, Stephen?
At least you got noticed that you uploaded it. You uploaded the wrong one. And seriously, the kick drum needs to be bigger.
Sensible, practical, perceptible, Stephen. Rational, reasonable,
I would put it like this.
reliable too. He sets an example, how sensible, Stephen. So we can be sensible in all that we do. What do you say,
Yay.
Stephen?
Hooray! Some tracks are in a world of their own. Let's check out This is a New World. This is EQ flat. Back to stereo width. What do you say? Yeah, man. Check the changelog on here. Yes. Boom, 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 boom. Where is this one? That's heavy right there. So something about the kick and the bass. Max is here. Let's see if we get the bass line by itself. The kick is feeling good, especially all the high frequency in there. I like that melody coming in. I love those kick drums in series. There's a lot of rumble in there. Oh. So if that rumble part was happening during all the rest of it, that could explain why your bass line is not so clear. And I'm hoping we get the bass sound by itself without the kick drum. That's a cool sound. Yeah, man. Structure is working great. I like the bass right there. 355. Hold on, let's go back. Right here, it feels like the bass is on the upbeat in between the kick drums and it's a bit distorted. Right? And then here it kind of cleans up. So if you're having trouble with the kick and the bass, I think it might be too much distortion on the bass sound that's just making a fuzz feeling instead of nice clean bass impacts in between the kick drums. Oh, you already scrapped 4 sets of kicks and bass line? Wow. I like the stereo width on this grinding bass upbeat thing, but like the lower end of it. Sensible, practical, rational, Steven. You got that stuck in my head. You. That vocal is so creepy. It's great. I can understand it too, so it's like, ooh. Okay, so what's your plan on this? Are you gonna are we hearing the kick drum you're keeping now? And then the bass line is up for discussion? Because my advice would basically be try to have a clean bass line with no distortion down low in the sub range in between the kick drums, and then separately have that stereo distortion sound that's like de-jant, jant, jant. If you could split that up, that might help with getting the low end kind of cleaner. The future is now. Yeah, and the kick drum impacts are great. Choom, choom, choom. That little peep on the front. Choom, choom. So let us know what you're planning to do with the bass on this track. And okay, probably kick stays, but the lower and offbeat, but lower, and then offbeat new bass line. Yeah, probably a new bass sound more than a new bass line, but sounds like you know what to do. And Donats, then Genie Paraverse. Let me check the change log on Donats. Let me push up this. It's weird, I can hear the system hiss. Like that analog kind of hiss that's in the track. I can hear that louder than usual, which sounds like if you recorded a mix onto tape and you recorded the mix at a low volume and then turned everything up and the noise floor got louder. So Donat's wondering if it needs a vocal sample or a spoken word or something. One beat in and you know it's Donats, yeah. I do not think this needs a vocal sample separately. Right here, it almost sounds like voices getting chopped up, kind of. The beats are really bright. The percussion, the drums are really bright and crisp in here. I got my EQs flat. The bass line is super clear, and the kick drum feels relatively kind of down. Yeah, that works for a vocal sample. We don't need anything other than that. So the kick drum is feeling like not as big in this track relative to where the other tracks have been. Shepard's bass line is too loud. Yeah, that's the overall effect. I think I would work on the kick drum first. I like it that the bass line is nice and fuzzy and clear. And this time the kick drum feels like it has a long tail that's very low and it's not poking through the track as much. Let me just start over. You hear how the kick has kind of a long... Yeah, the bass line has a long duration note and the kick drum also does. So I would go with the shortest duration kick drum you can. It's very stubby and just like buh, buh. And then sidechain the bass and kick. Total Donats chops right here. Don't add any other vocal samples or anything. Oh, James. Okay, so James thinks spoken sample could work. Yeah. I like the filter tweaks on that bass sound. We've heard this before, right? That buildup is great. And I like the bass line overall. Bow, bow. Yeah, right there you can hear it with the double kick drum. You hear that like the bass line's kind of dominant and you're not feeling the kick super heavy coming through. Let me try and EQ this a little bit. I'm gonna take that lower mid down. And you can hear when I turn up the bass, you get this low rumble that's like, go, go. Where the kick doesn't have a transient, it doesn't have a clear impact, and that's the kind of a molfy sound, like wolf wolf. So EQ back to flat. Personally, I love this bass line. I like the fuzz sound. I think it works really great with that disco groove. So this is a candidate for possibly just kick drum replacement rather than trying to like change the kick drum tail and EQ it and get a transient shaper and all that kind of stuff. I would swap out some different kick drums and literally like in live preview the kicks quantized, you know, like with the rumble shaking and vibrating, so that you can audition kick drums on the beat right out of your sample browser and then just listen through and find one that hits. And then instinctively, you don't have to think about it. Just select that sample, drop it in on your MIDI track, and go with it from there. So Danats, really good vibe, totally consistent with the style. And to answer your change log questions, I do not think you need any other spoken word sample or any other vocal parts. The structure seems to be working fine. Just the kick drum really and a bit of bassline volume mixing to get it leveled with the kick. But the process I would do is first change the kick, first change the kick sound, second, get it louder relative to everything in the track. And third, if you need the bass to come down a bit, you'll know after replacing the kick. And let's see what these comments are. Piff is saying dynamic EQ on the kick. Take the kick down below 120 hertz. Keep it just as fat, but remove the mud. And then another around 6.5K to push it up a bit. Yeah, I mean, you could do that to work with the kick drum sound if you had to, but since we're at the production stage, if you could just swap out the kick for something else, it has a totally different sound that might be easier. Shepherds, when the shaker comes down in volume a bit, that would help for more clarity in the mids. Yep. Yeah, the last couple of tracks have been really slamming, and this is going in a good direction. So Danats is like got the staccato chops, the fuzz bass, the disco groove, all that. All right, Genie Paraverse. We're going to try and launch off the end of this track and land in the tree. I think she made this one longer. Let's check the change log. EQ back to flat, stereo wide. Here we go. So she added about 1:40 seconds, turned up the strings and the Prophet synth, some bass and kick drum work, and added an ending. So Jeannie, yes, this is definitely ready for some ethereal type vocal bits. If it's great as an instrumental, but anything like spacey vocals you can add would be even better. So definitely go for it with that. That's my opinion. Oh shit, Pip is saying don't swap the kick drum. Just need some basic mixing, multi-band limiter, faster than scrolling 6,000 kick drums. Well, yeah. Okay. Epic feel. Nice melody, nice lead. I like that bass pitch drop. Wow. This is great. The whole thing is such a soft feel, like texture-wise. Oh man, I would love to see a video from the mastering sessions. That would be super cool. Can we have some of those? That would be awesome. Future Sound Beat, hello. Yeah, Jeannie, so the low-end kick drum, comment from Matt Schultz, kick could come up a bit. It's almost buried. I can feel it's a big kick drum. Cymbals are amazing. Drums, percussion, everything smooth. Mid-range instruments are nicely grouped. That melody. Bow, now, now, now. That feels off-center to the right a little too far. Feels like most of the melody is heavy on the right side. So you might want to take some of the higher pitch melodies, that one, and center it a little bit closer to the center. Because the left side for me is very ambient. Feels like all the melody action is on the right. .337, yeah, that one lead melody, I could feel it here more. Because my hemispheres, man, this hemisphere is like, oh, there's nothing there. Let me give it a little low EQ here. That could be a mastering thing, honestly. Bringing up the kick drum doesn't have to happen in this mix. And it's really important to have the bass line and kick in the right proportion to each other. And the bass line sounds great in here. I didn't even notice the song structure. It feels perfectly long right now, and then we have a nice ending. Future Sound, cool comment. Some phase issues. Feels like instruments are fighting each other. Let's check mono. And stereo. I like that secondary melody right here. 315. Wow, 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 wow. That one. So if that one could get panned farther to the left to balance the one that's on the right, then it would feel like the melody action is equally split across the stereo space. Because that one higher melody is really far off to the right. So like my melodic picture is like this, and I want to like that with those two sounds. I know I'm being picky on that. Matt Schultz, vibe is so good on this one. Jeannie got the feels. Shepherds, maybe a knocky kick. Yeah, So I think you were talking about recording. Were you recording 808 kick drums or something? It's a nice, beautiful kick drum and a nice big bass line. Personally, for me, a little bit of a low shelf boost on the whole track gets the low end where I want it to be. I wouldn't try to change the kick drum and bass relationship. And that ending. Oof, cool. So Future Sound Beat, what are you saying? I really like the vibe, but because of the kick, not too present. High frequency is killing me. Yeah. Max, root, third, and fifth. That's a triad. DJ Waters, I'm out of here. Attend to the idiot. Remember, if you think something bad, you shouldn't do it. All right, everybody. So, thanks for hanging out and watching. If you would like to join and get your tracks reviewed with us twice a week in these live streams, you can sign up on Patreon. It's patreon.com/mixatexture, as in the architecture of your mix. You can join the Track Feedback Crew, $25 a month subscription, and that gets you into our Discord community where you can submit tracks, get them reviewed, and have comments with all the maniacs that you see in the chat today. As well, we have the Mixatexture members site, which is all about online courses for Ableton Live production, where you can download revolutionary hands-on session lessons and learn to do production tricks inside Live. That means I build tutorials inside Ableton where you can play with the sounds and learn by doing it the fun way, instead of watching YouTube, getting distracted and trying to rebuild it later from memory. That never really works. So this is where it's at, courses.mixatexture.com. And right now I'm rebuilding how to EQ your tracks. It's almost done. It's amazing. Hands-on projects in instruments, drums, vocals, applying problem-solving techniques to the sound you hear so you can make it sound better using the basic EQ tools we have. This is the kind of audio engineering you're going to be using in every track you ever make for the rest of your life. So it's worth it to invest a little bit of money learning how to do it right so you get the techniques that you can use in your production life. Genie, this vibe. If you add some spacey vocals on here, we're going to just be like, oh, like, we had a lot of dreamy music today. We had AFL coming in with the feels. We had some Matt Schultz, Mr. Melvis, and even DJ Waters in his own way has a dreamy, spacey vibe. It's just apocalyptically dreamy. Mark Troy, pick a scale, play a melody with those 3 notes, and you'll find the right one. Yeah, man. So good, 120 today. Ooh, meet my mama for coffee. And so, remember, quick announcements. Saturday this week, the 13th, unfortunately, I'm not doing a live stream because I'm traveling. So I'll do comments on Discord, more timestamps in writing like this. And then Saturday the 20th, we have to move from Saturday to Sunday for some other stuff I'm doing. So Sunday the 21st is going to be track feedback. I'll send this out on email and Discord and in the Facebook group. And other than that, we are on track for August 26th to release House Volume 1. This music sounds amazing. We did the previews at the beginning of the stream. It's so cool. Shepard's made some amazing videos. We got some artist promo bios to send out. I'll be sharing the promo, and I know everybody's going to help us promote it. Actually, people have already been promoting the album cover. James, you're totally welcome. Was there a question? Oh, James, Saturday. Saturday the 13th, I'm only doing track feedback as written notes on Discord because I can't do a live stream this week. And then Saturday the 20th, we're shifting to Sunday the 21st for some other stuff I'm doing. So this month, the Saturdays are going to be a little bit weird. And then another little piece of news is the new studio getting built in Hawaii is coming along really well. We've got a studio room getting insulated, sheetrocked in. It's just a rectangle, kind of like the studio I'm in right now, except if you just take this space that I'm standing in as my station, kind of put that into a smaller room. Got my acoustic panels coming, bring it from here, and I'll do a little video on the studio build on that side. So I'm really excited about this. Thanks for being patient, bearing with me while I uproot and shift. It's going to get really interesting. These new tutorials are going to be cool. So, all right, that's it. We're going to space out to Genie's track. If you have any questions, everybody, you can find me, Steve, at mixatexture.com. We're on Discord. We're on Facebook. We're doing YouTube streams. And we got some new releases coming up that I'm so excited about. What are you guys talking about? Hardware? Matt Schultz, count the keyboard keys to figure out theory. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step. All right, there we go. And Jeannie Paraverse, thanks for letting me talk over your track. That's going to be the end of track feedback for today. All right, back to the studio, everybody. Thanks a lot. See ya.